is going on, everybody?
What is up, people?
So yeah, welcome back to another episode of the All-Star Sports Show. Yes, I know my cam's off because, like I said, I am in a different location. But before we get into the video, guys, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to read that notification bell. That being said, let's kind of hop right into it. Shit. I mean, let's get the MLB baseball out of the way really quickly, since it's kind of the hot talking point at the moment. It's been interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, it has been interesting. The Astros clawed back from being down 2-0. The Phillies lost last night by a score of 2-1 in a walk-off. Yeah, it's been a crazy day of baseball yesterday. The first game I want to talk about is the Phillies and the Diamondbacks, because we're not happy about this. We are not happy.
Not whatsoever.
We're a little bit upset. I mean, we're upset. We're not angry at the team, like, oh, the momentum is swung. We don't think that, all right? But the reason why we're upset at them is because they decided to opt out of batting practice, and it bit them so hard in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
And this time you shouldn't. And I bet you, like, then I thought about it, and then I got a little less angry because I'm like, all right, travel day, and they probably didn't have enough time to get something in.
I mean, think about it. First pitch was was 2:00 in the West Coast. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, yes, you had the day off, but you got to think of it too. Like, you're going across the country at the same time, so whoever knows, like, the jet lag and all that crap.
Yeah, you got jet lag, so of course you have napping that's going to happen, from these players because they're going from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. And they have to get acclimated to it. Now, since they've been there, they're properly acclimated to it.
Oh yeah.
So they probably and the game starts in 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours. So it's like it's an 8:00 start time. So they had all day to do batting practice. So I think they'll.
It was 5:07 first pitch. So which was about 2.
No, I'm talking to Rob. Listen to what I'm saying, bro. Listen, I'm not talking about last night. I'm talking about today.
Oh yeah.
Tonight it's going to be 8:00. Tonight it's going to be 8:00 start time. So they had all day to do this today to get batting practice in. And you know what, Lil Davo, thank you for getting excited for this show, man. We love having you around, brother. But yeah. That's how I feel. Like, today is going to be better off because they're going to have batting practice. And yesterday they had to go through jet lag and all that mess.
And it just seemed like they got rushed.
And they got rushed. They got rushed there. And it was like, all right, no batting practice since you guys had a travel day. And it bit them. It bit them. Guys were striking out. They were not acclimated to the pitching
and plus
comfortable. They weren't comfortable at the plate. The only one that was like fairly comfortable was Harper.
Well,
but Harper's Harper, so it's like not shocking.
This game 3 loss. It's like how we played in game 2, absolute dog water. It's the exact same thing. Yes, I mean, the outcome was a little bit different, but yeah, take into consideration. Yes, I mean, different situations. Yeah, you're going straight down to Atlanta, which is not that. It's straight down south. You're not really traveling as far, but at the same time, it's the same. It's how they came. They always somehow come out sluggish, and always will either find a way to win or lose. And granted, it's let's be real. Look, a sweep is nice, but at least I think some people don't like sweeps in the championship series because, boy, that's I don't know.
Now here's the thing that I thought about with this too, and fans were, a bit skeptical of a sweep, and I get why. I really do get why.
Because Arizona's not that bad.
No. Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. The reason why I think that a sweep it should not be in play ever for any for any of these series, on any circumstance. And I'm glad that a game three had been won by the other team when the team in question that they beat was up 2-0 on both occasions. Um, it's the fact that if you sweep a team, you got a 7-day break.
You do.
That's too long of a damn break. Look at, and I'm not trying to make excuses for Atlanta or the Dodgers or anybody like that. But when you take breaks, the way that you take breaks before a playoff game or for a World Series game,
It's going
it's
to
going to
affect your
affect
play.
you. It's going to affect your play because you're not going in guns blazing. You're taking a break while another team is building momentum. But then again, if we sweep a team, if both teams sweep a team, yes, nobody has momentum there. But what if the Astros Rangers game went 7 and then our game went 4? One of those two teams in the AL side has momentum. We don't. And I agree with Daniel Barry here. The playoffs should not have breaks.
Yeah, that was the biggest.
Both teams. It should be like if both teams have momentum at the end of the season, 162 games a season, they should just automatically go right into the playoffs. You can take like maybe a day break for both teams,
At least
and
give them a day
and,
off. Like if
and
it's
that's how it was in the early 2000s and the 2010s before this whole 3-game uh
wild card
wild card thing was in effect last season.
last year.
So you had a 1-day break if you won your division and you have a bye going into the division series because after that team in the wild card beats the other team 1 game, boom, they win the series.
I
They win the
agree.
wild card, and then they go right to the NLDS or the ALDS. This time you have that this bigger gap if you win and if you win the bye because you have the 3 games you have to wait your opponent to win 3 games. So it's like you have this huge gap, and I see people's point from that. Like oh there shouldn't be breaks, you know, and I saw the issue because it wasn't just Atlanta that was affected by it. It was the Dodgers. Dodgers got affected by it, and
True.
and and it was just like there shouldn't be breaks.
And
There
yeah,
shouldn't be.
there shouldn't be, but also at the same time, but if you're going to be like a team like the Dodgers or the Braves, don't like take the postseason out of the equation. But you saw how Atlanta went so complacent down the
Yeah,
stretch.
but I'm not. But here's the thing: it's you're doing this out of bias, Rob. That case is you're doing this out of bias. It doesn't matter how a team finishes in the regular season at all, because if they have momentum in those final games, which they did, because they won like 7, they came back from a 6-run deficit against the Cubs like 6 days before the playoff season started, and they kept winning for like 6 games. So they had momentum on their side. Then they had that 3-day break. What happened? They got outed in 5 or outed in 4, mind you.
Yeah,
And
well, with the Dodgers,
so
though,
I kind of figure I kind of find it as if the break killed them. The break killed the goddamn Dodgers too because they had momentum going into the playoffs.
true, but
Because
knowing
there's no way in hell, there is no way in hell the D-backs should have won that series. No way in hell.
no,
But they did. But they did because they had more momentum because they were going into this, playing
as the
games.
underdogs
And
this year.
and they had no breaks. So it's like what else do you want them to do? Like that's that whole thing. I get there's a debate and Philly fans are like, oh, excuses, and I'm not gonna be one of those fans.
It's fifty
I'm not.
fifty. 50
It's not
It,
50-50. It is not 50-50, Rob. It's not. There's not. Yes. Is there an excuse? Is there no excuse for a team to get beaten the way they? Yeah, of course. But still, it's a valid excuse. I mean, And again, there's excuses because that's the point. If you take a break, your momentum is going to swing because you don't have enough time to actually, play a game.
That's true.
So there's excuses and there is valid excuses, and that's the point. And I see that excuse being valid. I do.
And
But if it's
that needs
like
to be an argument. Like if I'm the Players Association, that needs to be an argument. Needs to be addressed. But
I
then
feel like
again,
I feel like the MLBPA is going to say something about this after the season. They're going like, dude, like, there's no way that the top teams are getting beaten that easy.
like
Like, there
think about
shouldn't
it.
be a way.
Well, yeah, because if you think about it, you got three 100-win teams getting swept. Now Baltimore, look, you really can't fault Baltimore. Like they tried their hardest. When you really look at the three
Now,
100-win,
Baltimore, I see Baltimore because Baltimore, they're a young team. They don't have a lot of experience in the postseason. They don't. So of course they're going to get beaten regardless. You know, like they're gonna get
they would
beaten
improve upon
regardless.
it.
But they're gonna improve because
It's
these
just,
guys they now have experience in the playoffs. They do. So it's like,
I mean, look, you look at
they
the
got it.
you're telling a team that went from losing 110 games 3 years ago, or actually a couple of years ago, to winning 103, 102, somewhere around there.
Yeah, but I think it was like 100. I forgot. It was
Some
100 and something.
100. Yeah,
But
they went 101 and 61. That's right.
yeah, 101 and 61. But yeah, they did what they were supposed to do, make the playoffs with this
Now
team.
it would have
Because
been
last
nice to
year,
see
because
him.
and I don't. And here's the thing: I don't get these analysts, man,
I don't either.
or these speculations. Oh, they're just going to be a 70-something win team. Did you not see last year?
Well, it's funny because before the season started this year, like I seen projections where they were like an 80, between 88 to 95 wins,
I
and
didn't.
yet,
I saw
but
speculations when they were going to be like 70. I think there was like speculations out there too that they were going to be like 75 to 80. I'm
right.
like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I don't see them winning over 100, which they did. They shocked me winning over 100. That was the one thing that shocked me. But I saw them winning maybe like 85 to 90. What is going on over there?
It ain't me.
Your audio is getting crunchy, like literally crunchy. It sounds like plastic. And now your audio's out. Going through some technical difficulties on Rob's side, so sorry about that, y'all. But again, the MLBPA should do something about this whole thing with with the breaks in between the wild card and the divisional, or and the regular season and the divisional. If you have that bye, the 3 bye days or whatever that you have, it's like, yeah. Am I glad my team won? Yeah. But we shouldn't have taken. I honestly think we shouldn't have taken them in 5. I think that we should have taken them maybe in 6 or 7, maybe in 6. I don't. Or we shouldn't have taken them in 4. We should have taken them in 5 at least. But it should not be called the wild card playoffs. It should not. It should be called the wild card, but just bring it back to being the 1-game series. Not the 3-game series that it is. Bring back the 1 game, because that ensures that the bye week or whatever, not the bye week, but the bye 3 days or whatever goes into a bye day, a day off. Like, it doesn't make it like, oh, you have 3 days off, so relax. No,
All right, how's that?
that's better, way better. But that's the whole point I'm trying to make with that. but
It ain't wrong.
that's how it is, man. But the next game, but honestly, Philly, take some BP this game, man. Take some BP because y'all need it. But the next game I would like to talk about is the
Second to Houston.
Astros and Rangers game from last night.
It's boy, top.
It started off very competitive, and then the wheels just freaking fell off for the Rangers. It was just like, holy.
You ain't kidding.
So yeah, it was like the wheels just fell off for the Rangers. It was just like, and right now it's 1-1, but it may be 10-1 after a while. But yeah, last night it started off 3-3. The Astros got a lead, and then the Rangers bounced back. So I'm like, this is gonna be a very competitive game. Nope, 7 straight unanswered runs scored.
You ain't kidding.
For the Astros, and they lost 10-3. And honestly, I'd rather play the Rangers than the freaking Astros, to be honest.
Well, we have a scoring update right now. Shout out my dad for that. It's tied 1-1 in game. Was it game?
Yeah, Daniel even updated it. It's tied 1-1. But yeah, thanks, Rob's pops, for that update. But yeah, it's it's. But yeah, I think that game the wheels fell off for them, and honestly,
for me, I think what's gonna hurt the Rangers is their bullpen, because we know how shaky their bullpen can be.
That's the thing. I think once they put their bullpen in, it was tied 3-3 still. That's when they went downhill. That's when it went to crap last night for the Rangers.
It's not just the bullpen, but you got to look at the rotation outside of Montgomery and Evaldi, who've been very solid for them in the first 2 games. Max Scherzer doesn't look happy, and you also got probably Andrew.
That man's got a 5. Dude, that man has a 5 ERA in the playoffs.
He's even worse than Kershaw.
Horrendous. He's way worse than freaking Kershaw. I'm like, Jesus.
To me, though, it's the fact that Scherzer is a shell of what he once was. He hasn't really been that dominant since 2019, give or take.
He hasn't been
that
dominant.
2021 actually had a solid year.
He wasn't dominant since, honestly, I would say 2020 when they won that fluky World Series.
No, that was the Dodgers.
No, that's what I'm talking about, Rob. Because we're talking about Kershaw. He plays for the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
He hasn't been dominant since 2020. He hasn't been dominant since 2020 when they won that World Series, because he was going crazy in the playoffs. He was going crazy.
And I think you and I talked about that. It's like this is unusual.
As soon it was like he gave up a run. I'm like, all right, whatever, clean it up. And then he's giving up 6. Oh. And then he's giving up 10. I'm like, this is not like Kershaw at all. I'm like, what is going on with Kershaw right now? Because this is just. And also, I watched enough games too, and I watched enough games too, Daniel Barry, that I agree with that. I watched enough Rangers games too that I agree with that. Haney is atrocious.
And speaking with Haney too, he actually only one good year he had was when he's with the Dodgers.
He comes to Texas and he is trash.
No wonder why he sucked.
I watched one game. It was against a bad team. I'm thinking, oh, Texas got this. They ended up losing that game. I go, Haney looked like shit in that game. He looked bad. The mechanics were way off, and it was just atrocious.
And to really pick it back off that, I think what's going to hurt the Rangers is pitching. The offense is fine.
Everything else is fine. The lineup is fine. That lineup is really good, but it's the facts that you have a very, very like your rotation isn't deep. You barely have a
Well, I
bullpen.
mean,
It's
it's
like
not deep after 1 and 2. That's the crazy part, though.
exactly. You have 1 and 2. That's it. You need three,
And
four, five. You don't need just one and two. You might win 2 games, which they did. Now they're going to lose about 3 or 4.
and yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, next game is Evaldi, so Texas has an opportunity to at least right, because right now this is no excuses if your two best starters somehow fall short if your offense.
And it completely shocks me that they're even in the ALCS. How bad that rotation is, and how bad that bullpen is. It shocks me that they're in the ALCS. Because
And and another thing too about with the Orioles, remember they didn't have their top closer in the bullpen. That really threw everything off for the Baltimore Orioles in terms of
they didn't
their
have their top
rotation
closer.
was so.
Rotation was up and down, very up and down in that series. But yeah, it was like once they hit that ALCS mark, we knew they're going to hit a lull. We knew it. I'm like, did I want Texas to win because I don't want to play the damn Astros again in the World Series because they're damn near impossible to beat half the time.
Yeah.
I wanted them to win it, but I knew they weren't. Let's be honest, I knew they weren't going to win it.
Man, look at the talent gap between Texas and Houston.
That's a huge ass gap.
Well, you to ask me like who had the better pitching? Definitely Houston. You can say
for sure. Guys like Framber Valdez and all those guys.
Let's think about this too. Look at pre-2017. Like they actually have some good guys. He has some decent guys who actually were actually okay.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing too. As much as move on from 2017, here's the one player I will give a lot of credit to. That's Altuve. Think about it.
Altuve is great. Honestly, he's a great player. I get it. 2017 should have never happened. All right. They should have won in that fashion. Yeah. Should they have won the World Series with that lineup? They were capable of doing it. Cheating or not.
Absolutely.
They were capable of doing it. They didn't need to cheat. That's the thing. And that's what makes me scratch my head because last year they beat us. And they didn't need to cheat to beat us.
No, we knew where the talent gap.
We knew the talent gap. We knew, all right, we might take them to 6 games, but we're not going to win.
Because I think I did say, I said we were losing in 6, and I can tell you remember I said that to you.
Yeah, we agreed. I was like, okay, Astros going to beat us in 6 or maybe 7. We might take them to all 7. That's what I said. We might take them to all 7, but I wouldn't be surprised if we lost in 6.
Oh yeah.
But that was because we knew the talent gap. And they didn't need to cheat against who'd they play in the 2017 World Series?
The Dodgers.
They didn't need to cheat. Dude, they didn't need to cheat to beat the Dodgers. They're the Dodgers. Come on.
I mean, cheating or not, like if the Astros didn't
cheating or not, they have a deep roster and they're really, really good. That's the thing.
Knowing the Dodgers' history, that's knowing
the Dodgers' history, they didn't need to cheat. They didn't need to cheat. That's the thing. But yeah, I'm not gonna discredit the Astros. They're a really good team. Really good damn team. And
now it's 2-1 Houston.
Yep, not shocked. That's the thing. I'm not shocked by that. You have a potent lineup. You have a great home run hitter who's damn near impossible to strike out. And you got Altuve. You got Altuve who's playing like he's still in his goddamn prime.
Well, because here's the thing, though, and here's the funny thing about
the only player that I'm like really questionable of his skill is Bregman because he's very up and down at times.
Yeah, he's been very inconsistent.
He's very up and down at times. Bregman is, but
Houston may take that out of context. And
Yeah, Coach Dante, don't take that out of context. You got a
but then
brain
again,
too. A
Dante.
brain. Yeah, Dante,
Oh
don't take that
boy.
out in context. We're just looking at the eye test. He's very consistent at times,
But then
and you may
again,
agree with
Dante
us. You
knows
may
where his
agree
team
with us at
lies.
times, but that's the thing though. That
Like
lineup
if
is
one
so
guy
deep.
struggles,
But hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. That lineup is so deep that when you have a player that's inconsistent, the rest of the team picks him up.
exactly. Like there's no
So they don't need
weakness.
anybody. Like that's how our lineup is at times. Like you have a player that's very consistent, the rest of the team picks him up.
Exactly.
Look at this series. Look at the whole entire playoffs. You have two of our best players not playing well right now, but the rest of that lineup picks them up. And
Exactly.
that's and those two players in question are Bohm and Stott. But the rest of that team picks them up. The pitching picks them up. And that's why
It
we're in
really
the
is.
that's why we're in the world. That's why we were in the World Series last year, and that's why the Astros were in the World Series last year because of that same theme of
Oh yeah, 100%.
that whole lineup picks each other up when one guy is failing or one guy is struggling.
See, and that's people that sometimes don't understand. Because I even said this on social media too. By the way, follow me on Twitter as well because I've always came to the defense of Bo. No matter how bad he's been playing, people don't really understand that baseball is a team sport. If one guy struggles, you have the entire roster to come pick you up. It's that simple.
Yeah, that's why I say when Bohm grounds out with like one out, I'm like that's all right, whatever. You know,
And
like
I think
at least he made
I also
contact
said
with the ball. You know,
so. And what's funny what I mentioned about LeBron, and I even said too, like, seeing him keep bashing. I'm thinking to myself like, if he say if Bone does win out of Philly, I can't blame him for that. If the fans don't want to,
but here's
honestly,
the
he's the
thing
other
though.
one.
But here's the thing: there's some fans that are so in Philly that are so freaking delusional. It makes me crack up. We lose one game in a series where we're okay. We're okay. It's one loss.
And
We could be
speaking of
tied
which,
1-1. Dude, we could be tied 1-1 in the series. Oh, the momentum swung, or we're up 2-1 in the series. Oh, momentum swung. It's over. Really?
and what's
Momentum
funny about that,
doesn't, dude. Momentum doesn't swing until the series is not in our favor
I was
anymore.
exactly, and knowing tonight,
Like
yes, we got Christopher Sanchez going, but Arizona has a bullpen game going on, and
yeah,
that was
that
the one thing that
here's the thing: starter versus the bullpen. Who's gonna win every time? The starter.
it's the starter easy,
Easy. No goddamn
and
question about it. That's the thing. And Christopher Sanchez, yeah, did he have a rocky beginning of the season? Yes. But later on in the
no,
season, he woke up.
like
That
he
sleeping
got
giant woke
better,
up. He got better over
he
time.
got better, and that's the thing, and
And look at last year. And look at last year. Nola. We were nervous about Nola going into the playoffs. Is he gonna be great? Is he gonna be nervous? He was actually pretty damn good in the playoffs.
yeah,
It was
because
it was up until the World Series. It was up until the World Series that he started struggling because he felt the pressure of the World Series, which I understand. Okay. All right. You felt the pressure. It's okay.
and this was
Get
also a
this one.
contract year for
Get
him.
this next year. And yeah, he's under talks for a contract extension. Now you may there's an ongoing debate in Philly.
And it's an
Does he
interesting
just
debate,
does he deserve it? Does he not deserve it? Like
or do we because and that's the thing too, I think he's almost reaching 30 now, and a lot of times, and there's an argument that are we going to move on and actually find a better upgrade than Noah? That could be a conversation, but I think Noah should be here for the next 4 to 5 years before it's all said
yeah,
and done.
I think he should be here for the next 5 years. He
Now, it'd be
deserves to be
what?
here for the next 5.
But if we find a better
Yeah,
upgrade than Noah,
yeah, and yes, we're hypocritical because we have a change of heart. Because early in the season we wanted him gone. But as he
Well,
got better, we were like, all right, you're proving us that you still have it.
it
So
just
it's more of the fact that we have a change of heart because he proved to us that he still has it. He was just having that little
that little skid.
distraction, or I don't know what was going on with him. But I think it found out that he was like very very mechanical. The issue, because if you look at his windup, he rushed the winds up now. He rushes the windup now. He doesn't just like do this little leg kick that he used to do.
Well, it's not just that, but I think there's also been you seeing like he's more linear to home plate, and even times, and not just Noah, but Wheeler also made some slightly changes too. Both of them use a slide step to control the running game because before, boy, last year both Nola and Wheeler were giving up too many stolen bases.
Yeah, and look what happened this year, man. That little sidestep, it really helped. It really helped because
And
they
yes,
got a
and
lot of
also has the
guys
pitch
out.
clock.
Yeah, and you also have that pitch clock, so you can't do this heavy wind up. You gotta be quick.
Oh yeah, even though it does, even though the pitch clock violation does give us some funny moments, you could say.
Yeah, I remember like a few occasions during the season, guys struck out without even a pitch even being
I
thrown.
didn't take it a swing because
Not
I think
just without
people.
taking a swing, because you can still strike out without taking a swing with a pitch being thrown. But I'm talking about without anything even happening. The pitch is not even
Oh
thrown, and he
yeah,
still
that
strikes
was
out.
I think that might have been Devers. I think it might have been Rafael
It was
Devers.
Rafael Devers. Yes, it was Devers.
Because he didn't get because if he was not because you're supposed to be engaged within 8 seconds on the pitch on the
Yeah,
timer.
and you got to be looking at the picture within 8 seconds, and he never did. So he got struck out without a pitch being
I was
thrown.
like, oh, I started
I'm
belly
like,
laughing.
wow.
I was
That
like,
happened to us one time. I got pissed. I forgot what it was.
yeah,
This is when I started early on in the season when I was hating on the pitch clock. Now I kind of dig it for some reason. Like I'm like,
yeah,
all right,
well, it's part of the.
this might help. I'm like, all right, I'm kind of digging the pitch clock.
But overall, I mean, and moving on from the postseason, there's been some other interesting baseball news that's been kind of been going around. The Marlins looking for a new GM. Kim Ing's out. That is
And let me tell you the reason why. There's a lot of drama into this. She resigned herself. She stepped down herself because
they were going to find somebody above her.
They were gonna have some sexism bullshit was going on. They were gonna hire a man to go above her.
Yeah,
And I kind of find it to be sexist bullshit. I'm glad she stepped down and get rid of that bullshit. I'm glad.
And that's the thing too. I've seen a lot of other baseball content creators talk about this. Like they were basically treating her like dirt. Basically, it's like
they were being sexist. What that is exactly. That's not even beating around the bush about it. They were being sexist assholes. Oh, we're gonna hire a man to go above you because you don't deserve to be a GM because you're a female.
Like, first of all, the fact you
first off, women can be in sports if they fucking want to. Okay.
I mean, look at the Giants. Look at this.
Look at the Giants are trying to hire a female, which I'm not opposed to that.
I'm digging it.
And I'm not one of those fans that's gonna laugh at, oh, they're trying to hire a female. No, those fans are assholes too.
I know this is kind of an irrelevant point conversation, and yes, I know we've seen women sometimes like dominate in different sports. I mean, and we're seeing leagues kind of regretting it. And we're looking at NBA and Becky Hammond. We're looking at perfect example.
2-time champ, brother. 2-time champ.
But going back to that, it's now the question is, where's she gonna go? That's the biggest question. Like,
wait, is she gone? Is she gone from Vegas?
No. I'm talking about Kim Ng, the former GM. We're going right back. But right now, I've seen Boston because let's put high.
I think she might. I think Boston's a strong candidate.
Boston needs one.
Boston
needs a GM.
Boston needs a GM. Colorado for damn sure needs a GM change. Who else?
There's probably going to be some teams there.
The Angels for damn sure.
Yeah. And the thing is too, look, the one thing I'll give credit, and Kim Ming actually she has some baseball smarts. The fact that she flipped Pablo Lopez for Luis Ariz, which trade worked out for both ends. Ariz
Yeah.
came to Miami to help with the offensive woes. Minnesota Twins need pitching.
It
You
was
can't
that.
tell me.
It was one of those. It was one of those very rare win-win trades where both teams
It
won a
really
trade.
is.
So it was like a very rare win-win trade. I've never seen, and you barely ever see like a win-win trade
Trades
in
ever that
baseball.
even
It's like,
happen.
yeah, and it's like you barely ever see a win-win trade. It's like either you trade a good player for cash and prospects, or
I think
I think a win-win. I think another win-win trade was. I wouldn't say it's a trade. Never mind. I was gonna say the Brave situation when they got rid of Freddie. Was that a trade or was that a no? That was free agent signing.
Freddie
Never mind.
walked. That was a free
Yeah,
agent
he
walk.
walked. I was about to say, was that a trade? I forgot that
But
he
here's the thing,
walked.
though. When you really look at the numbers, they've actually upgraded. And I hate to say it, and I hate to say Matt Olson's a bit of an upgrade, but the numbers speak
He
for
ki-
themselves.
he was one of the thorns in our side this entire season and in the playoffs this year.
Mhm.
But
And I know
that's
for
the
diehard Braves fans, trust me, I know like how hard it is to let a franchise guy walk,
yeah, like it.
and
I
we
was
get it.
dude. I was hurting for them. I'm like, damn, y'all got rid of your best player. Like
Well, we come to find out that the
the
and
freaking
all,
the organization freaking screwed him. His agent.
but
I'm like, damn, they offered him money, but the agent freaking didn't tell him? What the
yeah,
fuck?
that and now yes, you can also blame that, and yes, that was during the lockout. And boy, do you know how many times as baseball fan, because trust me, I know we didn't talk about the lockout, but boy, it was driving us freaking crazy.
But here's the thing though, baseball kind of did start on time still, but it
True.
was like getting closer and closer and closer, and we are getting antsier and antsier and antsier because lockout was happening during the summer, and then it got into like
As
August, where
well,
it got to
scoring
August.
update:
Oh god.
4-2 Texas.
Yep. Oh whoa! What?
Adolis Garcia 3-run shot.
Hold
4-2.
the fuck up. Yo, I was about to say not shocked. I thought you were gonna say the Astros. What the
No,
fuck?
Adolis Garcia took
Okay.
Justin Verlander deep.
Cars. Well, it's Justin Verlander. He's washed.
But
Um,
but moving on, we're gonna switch to the NHL, and I know we don't really talk hockey about this much, but
I'm not. I've opted out of hockey to be honest because of all this shit
well,
they were trying to
yes,
do
we
this
get
year.
that.
Huh?
What the hell is going with the Flyers? The 3-1 to the first 4 games is like, you shit me.
Bro. Every time I'm seeing like the scoring update, it's like 4-1 Flyers, 4-0 Flyers, 2. I'm like,
And yeah,
did they
you can.
here's the thing, they have a bad year and then next year they pull something out of their ass. Like I don't know how. Like it's
Well,
like a
here's the
flip of the
thing.
switch, they flip back. Like
Here's the thing,
honestly,
though, and yes,
be honest with you, Rob. Can I be honest with you?
shoot.
They're the Boston Red Sox of hockey. Bad year, good year, bad year, good year, bad year, good year. Like what the fuck?
Well, and the thing with the Flyers is, and where you can see like the progress really show is the change in ownership, the GM. I mean, and let's be real. For those who not watched Danny Briere play with the Philadelphia Flyers, you guys really missed out on
Y'all
how
are
good that player.
missing though. Dude, y'all lived under a rock if you didn't
Number
see
two,
Danny Briere play.
and Danny Briere in his first move as GM gets rid of Ivan Provorov, and you know how many tire fill on that jackass. Because it's like, oh, is it? Well, we're not
The
gonna.
dude was a douche. The dude was a douchebag.
And the
The dude
fact
was a
we wind up getting, and this is what I respect about Briere. He got 2 first rounders out of him, and a second and a third. And
and plus, yeah, we lost out on the top pick, which was Connor Bedard, which he's a really good player right now. But we got the second best player, and he's been really good, to be honest.
And yes,
so
it's gonna take time when he gets over here.
Yeah, it's gonna take time when he gets over here, but he's been really, really good in that minor leagues in that minor system. The Russian hockey league.
And the thing
So he's been really good.
We see some improvements from improvements from a lot of the guys. Cam Atkinson's healthy. Sean Couturier, boy, entire can attest to how many times I've been saying this dude needs to stay friggin' healthy.
Bro, when Sean Couturier is healthy, bro, he goes crazy on that ice, bro.
He's a great player, even less for real.
He's a really good player. Really good player. I liked him when in his younger years when he was healthy back in the 2010s.
Yeah,
like he was really good.
I want to forget the 2010s for obvious reasons.
Again, honestly, the 2010s were better than this current era. Let's be honest.
But true. But you got to realize too, this is a right rebuild. We're not like just going willy nilly.
Honestly, it's kind of like a retool. You have Briere trying to just retool the roster because there's last year there was like a lot of young players on the team. And that's why we were so bad. And the aging veterans, all he's doing is getting rid of the aging veterans for picks.
But the fact
and then he's drafting quality players with these picks,
that's where my other thing too with Provorov. Yeah, I mean he was on the older side, but the fact we got 2 first rounders out of him, which turned out to be Mitch Koff and Oliver Bonk.
Crazy.
I was like, you know what? I'm done.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. Bro. We got those 2 players for freaking Provorov, bro. Dude.
And the fact, we did talk about earlier the last episode about the Team Canada situation. But so the issue was, and I think I read this wrong, but the players, obviously they were not identified. Obviously, which the SA case, if they do get suspended, they're not going to suspend them. They're going to suspend them from international competition, not through the NHL season. That's the NHL.
But again, I find it to be bullshit because he's guilty by association.
But Carter Hart has been.
Hart's been annulled, right? Like, is Carter Hart guilty of in all this or what? Because
no, he actually has. He played Flyers first 4 games.
He pleaded not guilty on that situation.
I guess he didn't think that he would.
That he would actually be involved with that, and I don't think he was involved with that. But you're going to suspend the whole team over you can expand. Maybe you can suspend the people who were involved with that and who knew about it and didn't say shit.
Yeah,
you were friends with the guy, but I don't think he was there during all that shit, so he didn't even know.
Not. So yeah, but. Yeah, and yes, I know the one ugly list came to Ottawa, and of course Claude Giroux, of all freaking people, decides to say, "Oh, why?"
That freaking hurt my heart. That hurt my heart when I heard that he went off on Philly. I'm like, damn. Damn, that hurt.
And I really couldn't blame. And look, I can't blame Giroux because we're not going to do nothing with him anyways. I mean, we did all we could with Giroux. On this franchise, we were not going to win nothing with him, and boy, I think he regrets not. But yeah, I think we weren't
going to win anything with an aging Giroux. Let's be honest.
I mean, we did, like I said, we did all we could, even during his prime years of the 2010s.
Bro, but here's the thing: we came so close to winning the whole goddamn thing against the freaking Blackhawks in 2010. We freaking blew that.
And he still had a prime Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane.
And yes, for those who are not Flyers fans, but you need to understand, we have not won a championship since 1975. It's been well over 5 freaking decades.
The fucking year my mother was born. The fucking year my mother was born. What the fuck?
Or let's put this in a different perspective. My grandfather graduated in 1978. He was a, let me do the math here. There's
Yeah,
70
yeah.
weeks here.
They're weaker now because they traded a lot. They're in a rebuild mode. They're in a rebuild mode.
And, and,
But in the
and we'll
20, but
also put
dude,
the Blackhawks
in the
too.
2010s, but dude, in the 2010s, RC, they were a juggernaut. In the 2010s, they were.
Yeah, and you had guys in their primes, but just, and then we come to find out there's some disgusting stuff in the front office. Some essay cases were going around
Yeah,
in the
and and
Blackhawks.
and and ev- and I get why literally everyone in their fan base turned against them,
Rightfully
and
so.
they were calling for the guy's head for it,
And
and rightfully so. And it's like
especially our buddy Gooley. Boy, if you talk
Goalie
about a
was
guy
like,
that needs to rant,
Goalie's like, I'm glad they got rid of that bum.
because and shout out to our boy Gooley, who's all things Chicago. But
Yep.
like if you need to, if he he'll tell you how he feels on the sports.
Bro,
He's
his rants are like 100% factual at times. It's crazy. Let's move on to the next topic at hand.
How about the WNBA right now?
Kane is
That's
out. Oh yeah, Patrick Kane is out with a hip injury or hip surgery.
How you on?
Well, that's old age for you.
You on YouTube?
Yeah.
Huh?
That was my dad talking to me a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
we
yeah.
YouTube. But yeah, Patrick Kane is out with hip surgery, which happens when you're older. You know, you have bad hips and you're an athlete. Happens.
And no one and you got to take into consideration hockey is a taxing sport.
You're getting freaking decked every 2 seconds. It's like,
well, it's not what I'll say this.
It's not like what it once was. I remember 2010 in that same series against the Blackhawks. Every single player was brawling with somebody on one play. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And that's what was the best part of the NHL at times was the fights.
Yeah, I'm happy too. But Asia Wilson, I'm gonna ask you a question, Asia Wilson. Are you trying to get us progressively drunker after every damn championship win? Because last year you said, "Oh, fans, you better take 4 shots." You upped it to 8.
Here's the thing.
You upped it to 8, Asia Wilson. Come on.
Here's another player I'm going to give a shout out to, Alicia Clark, who was like pretty much called out this I think what did she say? Oh wait,
she was like, who? Wait, it was like, what reporter
voted 4th place for Asia Wilson?
Voted 4th place for Asia Wilson. Please stand up. And then, then you have freaking coach, dude. Then he had freaking Coach Hammond trying in with a goddamn Eminem freaking reference. I'm like, oh my god, Coach. Yeah, I know. We love her for it, man. We love her for it. I was just making jokes. I was cracking jokes. But yeah, Asia Wilson. I love her. Dude, I love her energy, man.
But and another thing is too, and look, I know a lot of people don't watch the WNBA, but the WNBA in the last couple of years has made some significant strides.
Yeah, they have.
About this,
they had a rise in viewership this year.
They had a jump in subscription for WNBA League Pass.
Yep. Me and Rob are at the hand of that, so you're welcome. You're welcome, WNBA. we love what you do. We love what you do. Those ladies can ball. But yeah, and that's why we love the Aces, man, because everybody on that team is just themselves, and they just ball out.
And you're probably asking why and yes, Philly doesn't have one at the moment, so that's.
Philly doesn't have one, but honestly, if Philly gets one, I'm not leaving the Aces. I'm not.
No,
I'm staying there. I'm an Aces lifer, you know.
And
I don't care if they suck.
I
care if they suck, but if they do suck, I'm staying still.
And especially with the Aces, think about it. We were down 2 freaking players in the WNBA finals to foot injuries. And we still,
if a player said that, they probably would have been badass for them to say, but they didn't think of that.
and
We was
yeah,
down
celebrity
2
fans.
starters, now
And
we
I
up
can,
2 rings. That's like, dude, that is a badass line that a player should have said. We was down 2 starters, but we up 2 rings now. Like that should have been a line from a player
and
or a
speaking with
coach.
what else going on in the WNBA, you had the New York Liberty get fined
Hell,
$25,000.
hell, that's an Asia Wilson type of line.
Yeah,
She probably would have been the one to say that.
And this is more. And speaking, and we'll get to Candace Parker in just a moment, but the New York
See,
Liberty, they got to get their players straight.
yeah.
Really,
The conditioning coaches, $2,000 fine for what?
For skipping the media. So the players that were fined was Anescu,
Inescu, yeah.
and Jonquil Jones.
Y'all need to stop being store fucking losers. Okay? Y'all made it there. Y'all should be happy y'all made it there. And y'all took us what, 4 games? In a 3-game series?
Yeah, 4 games.
4 games in a 3-game series? Me too.
5
Even when
games.
my other favorite hits the league in Caitlin Clark, I just have 2 teams. Caitlin will not be on the Aces, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, because we're too good to even be up there in that
And
high of
also
the
the thing
draft.
is too, with the Aces, they still got money to spend. Because remember, they were under the cap this year. So who knows? We might. There's a potential we might snag Jewel Lloyd away from. Oh boy, that's gonna piss a lot of people off.
But here's the thing, though.
Stupid.
Here's the thing. She signed that extension. Midway through the season.
That's what they. But
She signed that extension.
But you never know. You never know. Because I mean, think about it. We also have I mean, shit. We always. But now speaking of moving on with Candace Parker though.
Let's not move on yet. But you have a roster. Who the hell would you trade to get Joel Lloyd? That's the thing. Who would you?
You know, I mean, we see some crazy trades go down. So I mean, it's.
No, I know, but who? No, I'm asking you personally, like hypothetically, if we were to trade somebody, who would you trade?
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, it depends. Because so the way I look at it, I think Candace Parker. I think she's staying for another year, and that's what gives that's given me. I think Kelsey Plum resigned. Okay, so before we get to the trades, I think Kelsey Plum resigns an extension. Asia Wilson already has her extension taken care of. I think Alicia Park stays on the bench for another year, maybe a couple of years, depending on how much you want to give her. I do think you could probably offer something like a Sydney Colson. I mean, if Seattle needs some bench players, I think you could throw Kirsten Bell in there, Sydney Colson, maybe a couple of draft picks.
Hypothetically, I think there is some realism there, so I do see us getting Joel Lloyd via a trade. In hindsight, now.
But,
because
they
need some bench pieces, man. They do, and also we need somebody to fill that void if CP3 ever gets hurt again. You know, CP3 is getting up there in age. She's getting up there.
I think she goes one more year. I think Julie.
And honestly, I see that trade too. I see that trade too. Kia Stokes and a bench player. For Cheyenne Parker.
And I love Kia Stokes, but she's a liability. I'm sorry. I hate to. It sucks, man. I love Kia Stokes. I really do.
I like Kia Stokes too. I thought she was a baller, but the problem is this year she went cold at times.
Yeah, and luckily, somehow did not hurt us at all. Well, it did kind of hurt us in terms of having a lead and such, but. I do think Kia Stokes you could throw in that package. Because I don't think it's a big over-reduced package because I don't like Seattle. It's kind of crazy when well, the question is, a piece of card would not be a bad option.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you'll definitely. I think she'll be nice. Little forward, or like I say, if Candace Parker does retire, you go ahead and Nafisa Collier. I mean, but then, that's going to be. And she, oh
That
boy,
would be
have like
absolute that dude. That would be absolutely fantastic. Getting a piece of Collier. Whew.
and she's another, and that's the thing too. Like she's also another 30-point scorer because you got Wilson could put up 30, Plum could put up 30. Same can say with Jackie Young.
If Minnesota keeps failing, maybe Fee will be receptive to leaving. Superstar see us winning like Candace did, Tyler, and they're gonna want to come. Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. And
But the thing is with Candace, like she does have a home.
that's that culture we're trying to create. Like we want players to come here and win. That's the thing. So if you're
Well, the
on
thing
a
with
losing,
Candace coming to Vegas, though, I think a lot of people don't realize that she does have a home in Vegas, so it obviously made a lot of sense. She's
yeah, it
coming
makes
back
sense.
home.
But she's coming back home. People are like, oh, she's just ring chasing. She's the female LeBron.
I mean,
No,
she had one with the Sparks, and obviously got a hate from a lot of the Sky fan base. I mean,
but here's the thing though. She won. She was with a team for like 12 seasons and won a title. LeBron,
yeah,
he
the LA
left because
Sparks.
for like 10 seasons, or not for 10 seasons, for a better part of that whole 2000s decade, that team wasn't giving him help. So that's why he left and went to the Heat.
Ooh, this is interesting from Damien. He says
I
he
see.
sees Brittany Griner.
Dude, enough with that. Oh, she's caused all the
I do.
problems because she was freed from a prison. And, like, no, she was
That's
used
not
as
happening.
government bait. She was used as government bait. Let's be real. Government bait.
But is it a possibility
And you're
that
on
she
for
can
that.
get traded?
And she has not. And dude, she has not caused any issues.
Oh, that's her teammates. But I do think there's a
It's
possibility.
it's not her fault, or hell, it's not even what's her face's fault. Her teammate. The other
What?
one. Shit.
Tarazi?
Tarazi, yeah, that's right. I don't know why I'm forgetting names today. But it's not
I can
her or
tell you like how
Tarazi's fault,
bad.
that team. It was her, Tarazi, and a bunch of role players. You think they're gonna win with that? No. They're not gonna win with
I
that.
mean, shoot. I mean, it's the same. Look, it's the same thing we said about the Fever. Now, the Fever, I think we did say we're going to have a somewhat slight improvement, but I don't think they're going to be playoff contenders yet because they got some
But
question
back
marks.
to Brittany Griner, I do agree though that she will get traded. I think Tarazi is gonna retire and Griner's gonna get traded, and they're gonna be in full rebuild mode in Phoenix.
Because yeah, it's oof.
It's atrocious there. It's atrocious there. But it's not Brittany Griner's fault because she got freed from a damn prison in Russia. No. Enough of that nonsense. You've been spewing that nonsense for an entire season. Now but whatever. That just got me heated. I'm sorry about that. But
going back to Candace Parker
that's
though,
that's on the fence. That's not because of her, Damien. Oh, so since she's famous and she's a famous ball player and she went to an airport, fans are allowed to
don't
harass
worry,
her?
he's in the kitty corner.
Nah, take him out permanently, Rob. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of Damien right now.
But
And if you want to unsubscribe because of that, whatever. At this point, you've been spewing this nonsense for an entire year.
But moving on. But Candace Parker though, she did make some WNBA history, the first woman to actually win 3 rings for 3 different
RQ
teams.
gets it too. RQ, thank you, because I'm getting heated up, and he's been doing this for a few years now with this. Yeah, send him to the bushes permanently. Send him out permanently because I'm sick of him. If we lose a sub because of it, whatever. I don't care. He needs to learn that, none of this was BG's fault. None of it, and this whole political nonsense and this whole fighting back and forth with him. Come on. Yeah, we can have civil debates, but when we have civil debates, you can meet in the middle. We never meet in the middle with this guy because he always wants to fight.
No, but I will say, but yeah, Meantime, we'll do the WNBA draft because boy, look at the talent that's coming out this year. Ooh, boy.
Oh yeah, there's a
It's
lot. But let me read this
that's just
question from. But let me read this question from RC right quick. Would y'all look at me crazy if I said Sabrina? If I said I already feel like Caitlyn is better than Sabrina. Sabrina is too inconsistent. Caitlyn is a complete dog.
mm,
I wouldn't say.
oh,
I
that's a
wouldn't say
very
Sabrina. I wouldn't
that's
say
just like
Sabrina is inconsistent.
she's
I wouldn't
at
say that.
times she can be,
At times, yes, but more often than not, she's on. I will say that.
but
More often than not, he's on.
well, we have to wait and see when Caitlyn gets into the league. It's too soon to tell.
Yeah, Caitlyn, she might be good in college, but in the pros, I don't know.
It's a whole different
Look at
game.
Look at what's her face that just got drafted this year. We were
Leah
highly touted.
Boston.
Not yeah, Leah Boston. She was highly touted after. She
Yeah,
was
she's never,
she was like really highly touted, and then she struggled when she came.
it,
Was she
but and
good?
at times,
And I don't even think it was Leah Boston. It was somebody else. Who was it? Shit.
oh,
No, it wasn't Diamond Miller. It was not Diamond Miller.
that's
Yeah, it
oh,
wasn't
what
Leah
the hell's her
Boston. I
name?
knew. I'm like, wait, there was a mistake there. It wasn't Leah Boston, RC.
Oh, hang on. That
Who the fuck
it's
was
not
it? She
Diamond
had like three.
Miller.
Dude, she had like 3 points per
Haley
game.
Jones. Haley Jones from
Haley
Stanford.
Jones. That's who I'm thinking of. Haley
Oh,
Jones. She was highly touted after in college because she was a baller in college. But
she was
she,
the third best prospect in
she,
college.
but she just wasn't panning out. Year one.
Sorry, I'm choking on air.
No. No, Maddie Ziegler, she was pretty good. Alexis
I
Morris.
want to see more from her.
Yeah, but
But
it was Haley Jones, RC. It was Haley Jones. I'm like, Aaliyah Boston sounds way fucking wrong because I remember her being a baller this season, and she
now,
was.
yeah, I mean, Aaliyah Boston did have her struggles at times.
Every player has an off game, but like she had more on games than off. Man, she won Rookie of the damn year, bro. Like
Well,
she
then
was
again, yeah,
on.
she was unanimous. But the Fever, if you
She
really
was a
like,
unanimous Rookie of the Year.
but for the love of God, run your offense through her for crying out loud.
Yeah, the only problem with her was that they weren't running the offense through her. Like we saw how good she was. We saw how good she was, and when they gave her the ball, they won games. But they just
Exactly.
won't
No,
give her the
yes.
ball.
Can they be a player contender in the future? Absolutely. Like I don't
Is she, bro? Is she fucking? Is she gonna be an MVP candidate in the future? Hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Hell fucking
And,
yeah. Leah Boston's up there for
but she's gonna have some
sure.
stiff competition though with women
Yeah,
like
she's
Brianna Stewart,
Asia
Asia
Wilson.
Alyssa Thomas, who gets a triple double machine. Oh boy.
Yep.
And I'll say
Brianna
too though,
Stewart,
it's
Stewie, she's up there.
they had now, and that's the thing too. Like I know I've seen, and trust me, I've seen a lot of Aces fans kind of saying, the MVP bonus was rigged. But when you really look at the numbers,
It
Asia
wasn't
Wilson
really
at
rigged.
times.
It wasn't really rigged. Yeah, a lot. It's because the fans wanted Asia Wilson, and they were homebody. They're homebodies or whatever. Like they're biased. So their player didn't win, so
True.
it's rigged. They do that same shit with every sport. If their team doesn't win or if their player doesn't win, oh, it's rigged.
Because for me,
Like,
and I even said this on record too, and Tyra can attest me to this. I specifically predicted that Brianna Stewart was going to be the MVP of the WNBA in 2023.
yeah, here's the
Because,
thing.
look,
Here's the thing. Like I watched Brianna Stewart in a few Liberty games this year that I could watch. This woman could ball. She was shooting threes. She was getting into the paint. She was doing all this stuff. She was crafty with the ball. She was playing defense. She had MVP written all over her.
I mean, look, what 40 point games, and average a triple double during the regular season.
Right.
Come on now.
RC's bringing up the Commissioner's Cup right now. I'm done. You mean the mid-season trophy? the fucking mid-season trophy. I'm done. I'm done. Y'all can have
But
a
to the Liberty
mid-season
fans,
trophy. I'm done.
and the one thing you will have to give Liberty credit for, look, you haven't been good. This is the first time they've been in the finals in over 2 decades. You have not made it there since been to the playoffs since 2015.
Bro,
So they
now I kind of get why they blew us out the way they did. We were letting them win a fucking Commissioner's Cup. But when it came to the real fucking championship, we were playing like dogs, bro.
and the fact we were shorthanded Kia Stokes with a foot injury and Chelsea Gray, and you still
And
lost.
CP3. Like 3 players that were out.
Actually,
3.
yeah, all foot injuries.
All foot injuries, and we still won a fucking championship. 4 games to 1. Bro. Or no,
3 to 1.
3 games to 1. 3 games to 1. Yeah, it's best of 3. I forgot.
Best of 5.
Or best of 5. Yeah, 3 games to
and
fucking 1.
And the funny thing is too. And here's the funny thing too. We did the exact same thing, but we had a full health roster last year. Still went 3 to 1 over the Connecticut Sun.
Dude, that's how deep the aces are, man.
And look, we're not saying that the Liberty are a bad team. Like, they were the best. Besides the Sun last year, they were actually the best competition we've seen.
Yeah, the Sun gave us freaking fits in the fucking playoff, bro.
Well, and that's why we still had Jonquil Jones and Brianna Jones, and I think that's where the downfall of the Suns kind of started. When Jonquil left for New York during the season, you had Brianna Jones, which was very unfortunate with an Achilles injury.
Robert Tyler, John Starks, 2 for 18, Game 7, 1994 versus Rockets. Old. Yeah, we're not that old. I don't remember that game. Wednesday, Brianna Stewart, 3 for 17 versus the Aces, Game 4. Yeah, she was off. And I'm like, there's something. I'm like, we're if we're containing Brianna Stewart, we should have won that series, and we did, because that was one of the keys. It's not just
Brianna Stewart.
The whole team.
I even said, and that's the thing too. I think it was said in one of my other keys was try to get Brianna or Jonquil in foul trouble early and that's what they did.
Yeah, get Jonquil in foul trouble, shut down Ionescu from the 3, and just
Maurice Johansson's gonna be a pain in the ass for your boy, one-legged 3 in your faces. Oh boy, that's disgusting. But that's disrespectful.
Whoa. All right, but so you take down Ionescu from the 3. Don't let her get 3s, because she will kill you all game.
Same with
Brianna Stewart, just take her out entirely, which they did. And just stop, dude. Whatever you do, stop Jonquil Jones. Whatever you do. And they did it. They did it. They did all 3 things. They looked at that scouting report and said, okay, check that off, and check that off. Because we did it.
Yep.
And
now.
And I also like that what's her face? Shit. Kelsey's hubby was there.
And also think of this too. Kelsey also played with a broken pinky at the same time.
She said, "Pop that bitch in. I'm in." Fuck yeah.
It's like the way I could see Kelsey playing. She's pretty much the AI.
No, she's more. No, she's more of a goddamn.
You know what? No, I'm sorry. That's more Kobe. Dude, I would say.
Hold on. I couldn't hear you because I heard a lot of yelling out there. Dude, shut the door. But yeah, I remember, dude. She's like a mixture of AI and Kobe.
Yeah.
She's a mixture of AI and Kobe. Kobe with the work ethic and the fact that she has a broken pinky and she said, "Pop that bitch in. I'm playing in this game."
Yeah.
Because Kobe did that. Because Kobe did that same shit. Pop that bitch in. I'm back in. And you saw it on the cameras. Right in. And then AI with the freaking crossover into a freaking bucket.
And
I remember,
here's the funny thing too.
I remember. I think it was like during the series too. She got fucking dunked on, and as she's falling to the ground, she's laughing her ass off. And I'm just like, yo, She is cold for that. She's laughing the entire time going down. I'm like, damn.
And the thing is with the
Plum is
Aces
a
too, the
dog.
way
Plum is a freaking dog, man.
well,
That's why they
why
call her Plum
she's named
Dog
the Plum
Billionaire.
Dog.
She's Plum Dog for a
And
reason
here's the
because she's
thing,
a dog. She's no,
it's not just
she's
that.
no Chihuahua, and bro, she's no Chihuahua. She is a pit bull,
And
an
Tyler,
angry
here's
pit
another thing
bull.
too. I could imagine that. And so the funny thing is too is the fact that Kelsey Plum has a couple of rings before Wall even has one. I could imagine the amount of bragging rights in that household.
Bro, he had to sit there at the game and see that happen at freaking courtside, bro. It was like, damn, yo, Darren Waller, damn, you gotta wake up now because she brought you to a game and she won a championship before you, bro. Oh shit,
Two. She won two of them.
two of them bitches in 2 years.
And also, yeah, and the Aces have made WNBA history because the last team to ever repeat was the 2001-2002 Sparks. So
Yep, when they were just
and so the last and final thing we're going to talk about, it is in college football, which I know it hasn't really. I know a lot of people I've seen some people. There's some murmurings. Michigan is in trouble once again.
yeah, the whole cheating scandal going on right
The
now.
whole quote unquote Spygate.
Spygate in college.
Yeah, and Michigan State actually put out a statement saying they're like if they don't even want to play them because they ducked out because of that.
Well, so now you're dodging. Now you're ducking, dude. Now you're ducking teams because you got caught cheating. What is this UFC? What are y'all, John Jones? All of a sudden, ducking fights because you don't want to fight because you've been drugging.
Oh yeah.
Or
but
in this case, you've been spying on their plays, so you don't want to fucking play teams.
And
yeah, the comments never. Nobody had repeated back to WNBA. Nobody had repeated since like the 90s. I don't think.
Yeah.
In the WNBA.
No, the early 2000s.
Oh, the early 2000s. Yeah.
Because the last team to
forgive me, y'all. I'm 2 years into my WNBA fandom. Forgive me.
But yes, same with me. So we're still young on that.
Yeah, I'm still young. I'm still young on that. I'm 2 years in. I never watched the WNBA before. But don't get me wrong. I wasn't a sexist asshole about it. I wasn't.
But speaking of the NBA, so shout out to Steve. Oh yeah,
I had a Julian Strother. Who the hell is that? I'm sorry.
I have no idea.
I have no idea who Julian Strother is.
But but yeah, going back to college football though, for me,
stupid. Now here's my question to Michigan: how stupid can you be? How stupid can you be to even do that?
And like, knowing that's against NCAA rules.
You went entirely against the NCAA rules. Entirely against it. You got no. Not only did you go against NCAA rules, your moral values are shit now. So you're telling these players that it's okay to cheat. Like, are you kidding me? Come on. Like,
oh yeah. But we'll have to wait and see what the outcome is, because if these are a fault,
I don't know how I would go about this in college, layman says. Like in the NFL, I would say easy takeaway picks. But what are you gonna do with college? Take away recruitment? Like what?
Yeah, I don't know, because college football.
I don't know how they would go about this. Maybe suspend the coach for the entire season. I don't know. Oh yeah, I do remember Strother. He was a dog in Gonzaga.
Gonzaga last year in the March Madness, they were disappointing, very disappointing.
Yeah, they had a good roster, and Strother was one of the pieces that were really good. The problem was
Drew Timmy.
Yeah, him and Timmy. Yeah, but Gonzaga, they lost. They lost in the March Madness again. It's like, damn. It's like every year, my stupid ass picks Gonzaga.
And yes, trust me, I know. A couple years ago, I picked Drexel to win it all, and boy, that was a stupid idea because it's a Philly school.
Bro, I picked dude. I remember the year that Villanova won the championship in 2016. I picked everybody plus Villanova. Villanova hit. The rest of that bracket miss. Like, are you fucking
but
kidding me?
but and yeah, nowadays and that's why. And Tyler, I know you're gonna. I know it. I told Tyler this too, but it comes to college basketball. I'm gonna have to watch the South Carolina women's. And yes, I know it sounds hypocritical as Clemson fans because
No, that's different. That's different. We don't like the college football program, basketball program, whatever. And I get why you
it's
would
just
choose the basketball program because I'm low key a fan of them too. You want to know why?
just
Dawn
nobody's
freaking
just.
Staley. Dawn freaking
Mm-hmm.
Staley's there. She's Philly. She's Philly, man. You can't go against Philly.
Yeah,
And that's why I choose them in basketball, women's basketball, as opposed to college football.
ugh,
Because Dawn Staley's
yeah.
there as coach.
I mean, she's produced some. She produced guys, women like Aaliyah Boston, Asia Wilson. There's probably more I can't probably think of.
Yo, imagine
And
her.
Camille,
Yo, imagine her ditching college coaching for the WNBA. Holy shit.
boy.
That would be
But I
dogs.
don't
They
think I
would
don't
be
think she's gonna
dogs.
leave. I don't think she's. I think she's one of those coaches.
She's
She
like
won't be leaving
she's
college.
kind of yeah, she's kind of like, what Deion Sanders is. He's not gonna leave for the league. Let's be honest.
Nah.
He wants to coach
What?
like young kids to be good pros. He doesn't want to coach pros to be good pros. Like
Exactly.
that's the point.
And
And that's the same thing with Dawn Staley. She wants to coach young women who are in college to be good pro players in the WNBA.
and and that's
So
the thing too. And the funny thing is the fact that and yes, and for those who wonder why did you choose Carolina over Nova, because you say, oh, you're Nova fans. Just nowadays, it's hard to get them into because with Jay Wright retiring, it doesn't hit the same it used to.
yeah, to me, I'm
And
watching dude. I watched a Villanova game last year. This was like Coach Wright's. It was a year removed from Coach Wright's retirement, and I'm like, something feels off watching this team. Like
it really
something
does. And
very
Kyle,
off.
and well, I think Kyle Nelson's going to be a good coach, but I don't think Villanova is going to be what they once were in terms of
Yeah, I feel like they're
national.
gonna they're gonna they're gonna rebuild for right now. They're gonna just try to recruit some good players, get some good talent there, and then probably within year 3, year 4, they'll win it. They'll win a title again. They'll win the national
But
title again.
from
Um,
and it's the same.
now,
And
but right
Don
now,
Taylor's the same.
wait, what?
But yeah, and that's why we went with another Philly native in Dawn Staley, because let's be real. Because let's be real,
Hey,
any game she coaches, like she'll always will find a way to rep Philly, no matter what it is.
bro, she comes out wearing. Dude, she came out one time during a freaking game. Does she wear Gamecock gear? No, she was wearing Eagle gear. I'm like, hell yeah,
Hmm.
Dawn. Go
But
Eagles.
yeah, but that being said, though, it's been actually coming. Yes, I know the show had. I know, like I didn't have any topics written down because, like I said earlier, I'm at my dad's for the weekend, so
But hey,
and means I forgot about.
but bro, we actually flowed this better. Like I think we got better. We were like doing topics without even writing topics down. So we
Well,
kind of gotten better
yeah.
at that. We've kind of gotten better with that. But what else should we?
Overall,
What else should we cover?
I think we pretty much covered pretty much all of it. Because like I
Wait
said,
a
I mean,
minute.
right now the biggest news.
One other thing. I got one other thing.
Shoot.
We got a rant about the game on Sunday. The Eagles game.
Yeah.
Got a rant. We gotta air out our grievances right now before we leave. Absolutely pitiful, bro. Pitiful loss. We should not be losing to the Jets. We should not
Because
be
quite
fumbling.
honestly,
We should not be throwing picks. We should not let guys through on the offensive line. A lot went wrong in this game. A
Yeah,
lot went wrong.
I mean, look, Hurts. Yeah, there's you can blame Hurts for some stuff, but there's a lot of things going around. You really can't really
Now,
blame injuries. I mean,
now, a few of those picks, yeah, they were rush throws because of the line. One of those picks, he threw in a double coverage. He needs to stop throwing in double coverage. He's done this all season, even with a good offensive line. He's
yeah,
got to throw in double coverage because that's a play. If it's double covered, it ain't there. The play ain't there.
but
Throw to somebody else. You know,
because I even
or if
said
there's
our first
nobody
loss is
open, run the fucking football. You got the wheels.
exactly,
Like
and yeah,
so.
and
So
like
yeah,
the part of it,
bad loss by the Eagles. And you got your thoughts?
I mean, it happens to everybody. You know, it's like
Everybody has bad games. Everybody has bad games. It happens. But
I mean, well,
but
sucks the team needs to
to
be a
me
saint.
it hurts. It hurts more. But it's because we had 5 bad games to make us 5-0.
Yeah,
We
we're a week
etched.
5-1 team
We were weak going into this because we were a weak
because
5-1 team. We did not look good on like with the eye test. We did not look good in any of our wins except for one of those
you look at
wins,
this team,
and
and
that
that was
was
against Tampa
against
Bay, but
that was Tampa Bay. That was it.
that's one of our best games. But you know, everyone, because now correct me if I'm wrong. Like most of the teams, like us, the Niners, and Cowboys, most of the top teams in the NFC do have a harder schedule. So yeah, that could also factor into it as well. And yes, no one like teams like
But
Washington. They're
we can't just factor. That's an excuse, Rob. That is an excuse. Because look at the 49ers. They have a hard schedule, but they're steamrolling teams.
I'll tell that man.
Like they're steamrolling teams right now. Like they have a prolific offense, a really good defense. What do we got? An offense that's meh and a defense that can't cover for shit. That's the thing.
Sure, true.
But we are 5-1, so I can't be too upset. I know I sound like I'm complaining because I am
Because I
about
feel
this
like
team.
I just feel like last week was a week of spoilers. I guess you could say. I think week 5. Where are we? Week 7 now. Yeah, week 5. Was it week? Was it week 6? Yeah, week 6.
No, we
La-
played week 6. We played week 6. We're going into
okay.
week 7.
Okay.
Going into
But
week
like I
7
said,
this week.
yeah. Well, last week was a week of spoilers. You had the Niners somehow dropping it, unless real some. I would say some
See, that's a
questionable
game
calls.
dude. That game they shouldn't have lost.
And yeah, for those who pick the Niners and pick them, we feel. Yeah.
They screwed me,
uh,
Rob. They screwed me.
Also, I
They
think there's
screwed me,
one
man.
last team. I think a team that I could see potential changes. The New Orleans Saints. Derek Carr, boy, he looks like fucking shit. I'm sorry.
I don't
Like,
know what's going on with Derek Carr. You could say weak offensive line, but the offensive line ain't that weak. Let's be honest. You can say they don't have receivers. Michael Thomas is still on that roster, so that's out of the
you got Chris
question.
Olave.
Chris Olave's there, so that's out of the
And
damn
you got a
question.
good running game with Alvin Kamara. But the defense
Alvin
is
Kamara's still
fine.
there, and he's been doing pretty good. But the problem is, Derek Carr is a shell in this offense. He is a shell.
And Tyler, and I told this too. And Tyler can attest to me. I have said on social media that in years past, as soon as Drew Brees retired, we all knew that the quarterback problem is going to be it's going to hurt the Saints.
Yeah, there was going to be a quarterback issue but I knew it was going to hurt the Saints when they replaced Brees with Jameis freaking Winston. I knew it was going to be this,
But
and I thought, oh, Jameis Winston is fixed when he went 5-0 that one year, and then he got hurt. I was made a fool out of because he sucked when
and
he
they're
came
paying.
back.
But yeah, we're gonna move on for that. But we got a tough week 7 coming up, and all in all, that's gonna do it because my phone's about to die. It's on 4%. And with that being said, guys, we appreciate you coming in. You guys hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and we are out.
Peace.